Welcome back to another Whitelines Quickfire review where I'll be answering some of your questions on this season's latest snowboard gear in rapid fire format. Today we're taking a look at the all new all mountain powerhouse from Vimana. This is the Meta snowboard. Firstly, just what kind of board is the Meta exactly? Well, it's a bit of a fusion of various ideas and technologies, but ultimately this sits pride of place as Vimana's flagship all-mountain shredder. It's got a lot of freestyle performance built into its DNA, but take it to the rest of the resort and beyond, and you'll find it still holds up super well. What about the shape as well? So the Scandi ethos of clean, simple design seems to run through a lot of the features in this board. It's got a directional outline, but there's only a very subtle taper running from end to end. It won't catch you out when you're riding switch, but it will make riding in your preferred direction just that bit more dynamic on the piste, as well as lending a hand to keeping the board afloat in powder. It also features what Vimana call their V-tips in the nose and the tail, where the outline remains pretty wide out at the very ends of the board, rather than shortening that blend zone and blunting off the shape. That extra volume creates a bit more surface area up front to keep you punching above the snow when you duck under the piste ropes. And that subtle construction continues with the camber. So the Meta is primarily built around a full positive camber, and a pretty powerful one at that, but there's just a touch of early rise rocker in the nose. So once again, it won't really hinder your switch riding, but it does just enhance the performance in your preferred direction that bit more. Remember too, camber isn't just something that you'll notice when you're charging on the edge. It plays a huge role in spring loading the board with a ton of pop, and the Meta is definitely one of the best boards for boosting off cat tracks, side hits and park jumps. As for the flex, it has a stiffness rating of about a 7 or 8 out of 10. So you tend to find a lot of performance all-mountain snowboards sitting at around this level. It sort of hits the sweet spot between being playful enough to get creative on around the mountain, but as soon as you dial up the speed or the edge angle, it's got plenty of horsepower tucked under the hood to hold you steady and feel very responsive underfoot. The core is built around an ultralight full poplar wood core, and that's then bolstered up with the addition of carbon and Kevlar stringers. Now, these do a couple of things. Firstly, they give that camber an extra dose of pop, and combined with the Kevlar, it also helps to really dampen out the overall ride without making the board feel sluggish or lifeless. It's designed to be ridden pretty fast, and it's equipped with a rapid sintered base, so having a snowboard that can blend that aggressive nature with a smooth ride underfoot is something I really love about it. And as for my favourite feature, well, this one's got a lot of good things going on with it, but for me it's not actually about pinning down one specific feature. What I actually love about the Meta, and in fact all of Vimana's line, is the simplicity and really well considered design that goes into each of their boards. Rather than relying on funky side cuts or 3D base profiles or crazy materials in the core you've probably never heard of, Vimana have kept to the winning formula of clean, powerful shapes, smooth and predictable side cuts, and really durable and reactive cores. And that for me is what makes this such a great board. So with that in mind, who should be buying this snowboard? Well, I think it's going to suit strong intermediates right up to expert level riders. And I also think Vimana's no-nonsense approach to building snowboards is going to appeal to a huge number of snowboarders out there, for those who appreciate a board that lets their riding do the talking. When it comes to a daily driver, I'm personally a big fan of pure cambered snowboards with a good no-nonsense approach to design that lets you go anywhere on the mountain and never really feels out of its depth. Once you factor in just how good this year's graphics look as well, I definitely think you're onto a winner. That's about it for the Vimana Meta snowboard. It comes in a 156, 159 and 162, and it's hitting about the €550 mark. That all-mountain category has got a lot of competition around that price point, but for me this one is right up there with the very best of them, which is why we also selected it for this year's Whitelines 100 Awards. If you've got any questions about this one, then please stick them down below in the comments, and if you're wanting any more information about the Meta or where to buy it, I've also stuck a link to the full Whitelines review in the description. Also, if you're wanting to keep up to date with more of this season's snowboard reviews, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's it from me, thanks for watching, see you next time.